You cannot hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot see a target you do not have. Let me start with this, my friend. You can't leave your life to chance. You can't drift through the years and hope you'll land somewhere meaningful. You must take control. You must set the sail. Life responds to clarity. And clarity begins with a goal, not a wish, not a vague hope, not a someday. A clear, written, measurable goal. That's where change begins. That's where you begin. Goals. There's no telling what you can do when you get inspired by them. There's no telling what you can do when you believe in them. And there's no telling what will happen when you act upon them. So in this speech, we're going to break it down, step by step, until you walk away not only knowing the importance of goal setting, but mastering it. Let's begin. Most people never get what they want because they never decide what they want. And let me tell you, that decision is everything. It is the beginning of change, the spark of discipline, the birth of vision. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. You see, setting goals isn't just about achievement. It's about becoming the kind of person who knows where they're going. Because without goals, life just happens. You get caught in routines. You respond instead of create. You react instead of lead. But when you set a goal, when you declare what you want, you flip the switch. Now, you're in charge. It pulls you. It stretches you. It shapes your behavior. The moment you write it down, you begin to think different. You talk different. You walk different. A goal properly set is halfway reached. Because now your life has structure. Now your time has meaning. Now your energy has direction. It's not what you get. It's who you become. Let me tell you something that may surprise you. The greatest value of a goal is not in achieving it. It's in what it makes of you along the way. Want to earn $1 million? Wonderful. But what's more important is the discipline it takes to earn it. The mindset it takes to keep it. The character it takes to grow it. Set the goal for what it makes of you, because you are the prize. Set a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. Without a goal, everything feels foggy. You don't know what to do next. You don't know where to focus. You end the day feeling busy, but not fulfilled. But with a goal, you wake up on purpose. You speak with clarity. You move with intention. It's like having a compass in the middle of a storm. And even if the winds blow, you still know where you're going. So let's begin with this first challenge. Decide what you want, not what your parents want, not what your friends want, not what society tells you to want. What do you want? That's the start of a goal. And once you decide, write it down. There's magic in writing it. Because when it's written, it's real. It's no longer just a wish. It's a target. Goals must be written. Words are powerful. Words set intention. Intention drives action. I want you to take this seriously. Take out a notebook. Take 30 minutes and write this at the top. What do I truly want in the next 1, 3, and 5 years? Be specific. Don't just write more money. Write the number. Don't just write better health. Write the goal weight, the energy level, the routine. Be honest. Be bold. Be clear. Because until the goal is set, nothing moves. But the moment it is, everything starts to change. Don't let the winds blow you around. Set the sail. Design your future. That's the power of goals. They help you stop drifting. They put your hands back on the wheel. They bring you back into control. So don't wait. Don't wish. Decide. Goals. There's no telling what you can do when you believe in them, and no telling what will happen when you act upon them. Let me tell you, my friend, a goal is powerful, but a goal without a plan is just a daydream. Anyone can say they want to lose weight, start a business, become financially free. But how do you get there? How do you turn that big idea into reality? That's what we talk about today. Turning goals into plans. Because a goal without a plan is like building a house with no blueprint. You might have the desire, You might have the materials, but you won't get far unless you know how to put it together. Big goals are exciting, but let me caution you. If they stay too big, they stay intimidating. And when you're intimidated, you hesitate. And when you hesitate, you procrastinate. And when you procrastinate, nothing happens. So what's the solution? Break it down. You want to earn $100,000. Don't just write that down and stare at it. Ask, how? What would need to happen each month? Each week? Each day? Success is a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Not once in a while. Not when you feel like it. Every day. Here's a strategy I've used over the years. Start at the end, then work backwards. Let's say your goal is 12 months away. Step 1. Imagine it's already done. You've achieved it. You're there. Now ask, what would have had to happen in month 11 to get me here? Then month 10. Then 9. You keep going until you're back to today. And now you've got a path. You've got targets. You've got a timeline. That's a plan. Don't just think your plan. Write your plan. Because writing is the act of commitment. It's the transition from imagination to action. And here's what else it does. When you write your plan, it makes it visible. And when it's visible, it's trackable. And what gets tracked gets done. So don't leave it in your head. Put it on paper or a whiteboard or your journal, but make it real. Now, when we plan, most people make one mistake. They write down a to-do list, but not a structure. Let me explain. Your list says, go to the gym, write content, read 10 pages, make sales calls. That's good. But here's what's better. Schedule it. Structure your plan. Attach time to your task, because time has a way of slipping. And if you don't control the clock controls you. So say, I go to the gym at 6 a.m. I write content from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I make calls between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's structure. That's discipline. That's how results get predictable. A vague plan leads to vague results, and vague goals are never achieved. You must know what you want, why you want it, how you'll get it, when you'll work on it, and what you'll do when you hit a wall, because the wall will come. So what's the answer? Preparation. Plan before the problem shows up. That's how you stay in control. Here's something I've learned from business. If you don't measure it, it doesn't matter. It just becomes noise. So when you write your plan, also write how you'll track it, how often you'll review it. What counts is progress. Progress gives you power. It gives you energy. It gives you belief. Every check mark gives you momentum. Every small win is a deposit in your confidence account. No plan survives first contact with reality. Life changes. Schedules shift. Distractions show up. But don't let that break you. Be flexible enough to adjust, but disciplined enough to stay committed. Most people throw away the whole plan when it stops being perfect. Don't do that. When the road gets bumpy, you don't abandon the car. You just slow down, reroute, or tighten your grip. That's maturity. That's wisdom. That's mastery. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is direction. Your plan should be a tool, not a burden. It should clarify, not confuse. So review it often, update it monthly, adjust it weekly, work it daily, plan every day, then go to work. It's the only way to make progress feel real. When you write a plan, you're making a promise, not to the world, not to your mentor, not to your audience, but to yourself. And those are the most powerful promises of all. So write the plan, work the plan, adjust the plan, and never forget, the plan is the path. The discipline is the engine. The results are the reward. Next, we'll explore something critical, the price of the goal, sacrifice, trade, offs, and focus. Because you can have almost anything you want, but you can't have everything. Let's keep building. You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. Now let me tell you, my friend, every goal has a price, not just in money, but in time, focus, energy, discipline. If the goal is real, it will cost you something. And if you're not willing to pay the price, you simply don't want it bad enough. That's not a judgment. That's just reality. So let's talk about the real price of a goal and what it takes to become the person who's willing to pay it. Every time you say yes to a goal, you say no to something else. That's called a trade-off. You want more health? You trade sugar for sweat. You want wealth? You trade entertainment for education. You want to build something meaningful? You trade comfort for discipline. Success is not so much what we have as it. It's what we are willing to give up to get what we want. And here's the truth. If the goal doesn't require a trade, it probably isn't a goal worth pursuing. Here's where people get stuck. They try to do everything and end up doing nothing well. Clarity isn't just about choosing what you want. It's also about choosing what you're willing to let go of, because focus requires elimination. Don't major in minor things. Ask yourself, what must I give up to have the life I say I want? Time-wasting habits? Toxic environments? Pleasing everyone? Comparing yourself to others? Trying to be everywhere at once? You can't climb a mountain with your hands full. You've got to let some things go. That's the price. You don't pay for a goal all at once. You pay for it daily, with effort, with sacrifice, with discipline. That's the installment plan for success. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Waking up early? That's a payment. Skipping distractions? Another payment. Showing up when it's hard? Still paying. The goal is the prize. Yes. But the process is the proving ground. Now don't get discouraged. Sacrifice isn't punishment. Sacrifice is an investment. You're not giving something up. You're trading it for something better. You're exchanging the temporary for the transformational. That's a good deal. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And to change, you must make room. That's what sacrifice does. It clears space for the new you. Think of every choice like a brick. A yes brick builds your goal. A no brick protects your time. You need both. You need to say yes to what matters and no to what distracts. That's how the wall of focus is built. If you say yes to everything, you're building someone else's dream. Learn to say no. It will protect your time, your energy, and your direction. You can be kind and still focused. You can be open and still protective of your vision. Every goal will challenge you. That's part of the price. At some point, you'll say, this is harder than I thought. This is taking longer than I expected. I don't feel like doing it today. That's normal. That's the threshold. The place where most people quit. But here's the trick. Keep paying. Even when it's inconvenient. Even when it's thankless. Even when nobody sees you. Because the payoff is coming. But only to those who stay in the game. There are only two prices in life. You either pay the price of discipline now or the price of regret later. And believe me, regret is more expensive. Discipline costs early mornings. Regret costs missed years. Discipline costs focused weekends. Regret costs broken dreams. So when you think about quitting, ask yourself, will I regret not doing this 5 years from now? If the answer is yes, keep going. Now here's the good news. The reward always outweighs the price. The health, the freedom, the fulfillment, the self-respect. You can't put a price tag on becoming the person who finishes. When you work hard on yourself, you can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. You don't just get the goal, you become the kind of person who earns it. And that's the real reward. You're already paying a price in life. Everyone is. But are you paying the price for success? Or the price for staying the same? You get to choose. And the moment you decide what's worth it, the pain of sacrifice starts to feel like purpose. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Let me tell you something I've learned. Goals are exciting. They give us energy. They spark our imagination. But that spark, it doesn't last forever. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. What separates those who succeed from those who don't isn't goals. It's discipline. Ever notice how people get excited in January? New year, new goals, new gym shoes. But come February, that spark is gone. The reason? They were depending on motivation. But motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes. Don't rely on inspiration. Build a habit. That's where the power is. If you want your goals to survive past the hype, you need something deeper. That's the inner game. That's discipline. Now some people say, Jim, I'm just not a disciplined person. I say, neither was mine till I learned how to become one. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's a choice backed by action repeated daily. You don't need to master everything today. Just start mastering yourself. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Small things, repeated consistently. That's what builds greatness. You see, most people treat their goals like options. They say, I'll work on it if I have time. No. That's not how you treat something that matters. You've got to turn your goals into non-negotiables, like brushing your teeth, like showing up to work, like paying your bills. You don't do those only when you feel like it. You do them because they matter. So why not treat your goals the same way? Discipline means saying, this happens no matter how I feel. Let me show you something powerful. Discipline starts with your identity. If you want to stick to your goals, stop asking, what should I do today? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because when your identity shifts, your behavior follows. Want to be fit? Don't just say, I go to the gym. Say, I am someone who takes care of their body. That identity creates action. Action creates evidence. And evidence strengthens your belief. It becomes a loop, a discipline loop. Here's a trap to avoid. Waiting until you feel ready, or motivated, or confident. Let me give it to you straight. If you only act when it feels easy, you'll rarely act at all. Discipline says, do it anyway, even when you're tired, even when no one's watching, even when progress feels slow. That's how you build momentum. That's how you break through. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Now, discipline doesn't mean burnout. It means consistency, not perfection. So simplify. Want to write a book? Start with 15 minutes a day. Want to improve your health? Start with one healthy meal. Make it so easy, you can't say no. Then stack the wins. Build the chain. Eventually, the habit will carry you forward. Discipline loves structure. And the best structure is a schedule. You don't find time. You make time. So block it. Own it. Protect it. Whether it's 6 a.m. workouts or 9 p.m. reading. Treat it like an appointment with your future. Because that's what it is. Here's something most people miss. Every time you follow through, you build trust with yourself. And that trust, that's the root of confidence. That's the source of momentum. That's what makes you unstoppable. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. If you want to become the person who finishes, discipline is the way. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more relying on feelings. You've got the goal. You've built the plan. You've accepted the price. Now build the muscle that makes it happen. Discipline. Not just once. Not just when it's easy, but every day. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Next, we'll talk about the final piece. Becoming the person who achieves the goal identity, habits, and belief. Because goals don't get achieved by accident. They get achieved by designing yourself into the kind of person who finishes. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them. Now let me tell you, my friend, by now you understand something powerful. That a goal is not just about getting something. It's about becoming someone. Anyone can write a goal on paper, but to live it, to achieve it, to become worthy of it, that requires something deeper. You must transform. Here's a truth I've come to believe. The real goal is you, not the car, not the business, not the applause. Those are results. But what matters most is the kind of person you become on the way, because that's what lasts. That's what shapes every area of your life. And that's what no one can take from you. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Let's talk about identity. Who you believe you are shapes what you do. If you see yourself as lazy, undisciplined, average, you'll always act in ways that confirm that belief. But if you shift that internal picture, you begin to act differently. So ask yourself, who must I become to achieve this goal? Not just, what do I need to do? But who do I need to be? Do you need to become more focused, more consistent, more bold, more patient? Make a list. That's your real work. Because when you shift your identity, the actions come naturally. Now let's go deeper. You don't become someone new by wishing. You become someone new by taking small actions every single day. Each action creates evidence. Each bit of evidence builds belief, and belief reinforces your identity. It becomes a loop, a powerful loop. So if you want to become someone who is strong, confident, and disciplined, act like it before you feel like it. If you will change, everything will change for you. Don't wait for the world to change, change yourself. Now let's talk habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So build systems that support the identity you want to live. Want to be a writer? Write every morning. Want to be healthy? Move daily. Want to be wealthy? Track your money. Learn. Invest. Don't wait for motivation. Use your habits to create momentum. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Discipline starts the engine, but habits keep the wheels turning. Make your good choices automatic, and they'll carry you further than you ever imagined. Your environment must match your identity. You can't say, you want to focus and spend hours scrolling. You can't say you want to grow and surround yourself with people who stay the same. Audit your space. Audit your influences. Audit your circle. Because what surrounds you eventually shapes you. So shape it with intention. Set up reminders. Remove distractions. Surround yourself with inspiration. Build an environment that nudges you toward your future, not your past. Let's not forget this. Belief is the fuel. You must believe deep down that the goal is possible and that you are worthy of it. You don't need to have all the answers today, but you do need to trust your ability to grow. And belief is built through action. With every win, you grow more certain. With every challenge you face, you grow stronger. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Don't join an easy crowd. Go where the expectations are high and the pressure to perform is on. Expect more of yourself. Believe you can reach higher. Then do the work that proves it. Here's what most people miss. You may or may not reach the exact goal you set, but the person you become in the process, that's the real reward. Because once you become that person, you can set any goal, chase any vision, create any life you want. Set a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. You can lose the money. You can lose the job. You can lose the title, but you never lose the growth. You never lose the person you built. Let's close this with one final challenge. Decide who you need to become. Then start living like them today. Because becoming isn't something that happens in the future. It starts right now with the choices you make today. You don't get what you want. You get what you earn, and you earn it by building a life, one decision at a time. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. Work hard on yourself, and you'll make a fortune. You are the greatest project you'll ever work on. So build with intention. Grow with purpose. And never forget, the goal isn't just to achieve something. The real goal is to become someone worth becoming. The greatest gift you can give to someone is your own personal development. And now we've come full circle, my friend. You've learned the power of a goal, how to set it with purpose, how to build a plan, how to accept the price, how to stay disciplined, and most importantly, how to become the kind of person who finishes what they start. Because remember, a goal isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment, direction, becoming. Don't wait until next month. Don't wait until you feel ready. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a clear vision and the courage to begin. Don't ask for things to be easier. Ask to be better. So step forward, not with fear, but with clarity, with commitment, and with a heart that's ready to grow. Design your life. Don't drift. Don't delay. And don't settle. Set your goals so strong that they pull you forward. Live with intention so deep, even the winds of life can't shake you. Because if you stay focused, if you stay disciplined, and if you keep becoming more, you'll not only reach your goals, you'll exceed them. The same wind blows on us all, but it's the set of the sail that determines the destination. Set your sail, my friend, and sail boldly. Your future is waiting. Make it a masterpiece.